Hello, hello. Okay, new scenery, on a walk. Decided to go a different direction today. And I was just, as I was walking, thinking about relationships and the relationship to your relationships, especially. I'm going to talk more about romantic relationships, but this honestly applies to all. And when it comes to your success and feeling supported, etc. And this is just my own personal experience as well as what I've seen in my clients and random people that I have conversations with, friends, people I meet in networking, etc. But anyway, and this is around, so first of all, if you're in my world, you probably are someone who is seeking the best of both worlds, right? You want to have an amazing life and you want a business that supports it. You don't want to have to sacrifice one for the other, but you've probably found throughout your journey that that's kind of what it's felt like. And I know for me, uh, this was definitely a thing, and I hope you guys can't hear this background noise. That's why I'm actually recording this video via Zoom, even though it's on my phone, because there was construction nearby. But anyway, so coming back to the little conversation here, when it comes to being able to have it all, and that's a successful business, and when I say successful, financially supporting you, you enjoy what you're doing, it lights you up, it makes you excited and not burnt out. And then, also having a really great life. And this looks different for everybody. For me, it was being able to work from anywhere, like recording videos in the park, to be able to travel, to spend time with my friends, my family, do the things that are important to me now rather than waiting, another like 20, 30 years to be able to actually fucking enjoy my life. And I've seen too many people not make it there, or when they make it to that point, that they're not physically able to actually enjoy it the way they wanted to. So, my goal is to help people do both, to have a successful career, business, etc. Because while I speak mostly to entrepreneurs, I think this is actually relevant for really any high achieving, probably more women, but gentlemen, you might resonate too, so that's okay. But anyway, when it comes to relationships and the part they play in this. So oftentimes, when you're visualizing the amazing life, if you're already in a partnership, you're imagining it with your husband, your wife, whoever, uh, your life partner, and you want them to be a part of it. If you're single, you maybe envision having that person by your side and supporting you. But what I've personally seen and experienced myself is oftentimes what happens in relationships, and this can again happen very much in non-romantic relationships too, um, is that when you're going all in on your personal development and growth and your success journey, oftentimes it can feel like other people don't understand you, that they don't get it, that they aren't supporting you. And I know that for me, I definitely felt this with my husband on multiple occasions throughout my business journey. And honestly, like even just in my career before business, there was times where I felt like he didn't get it because I was really into my career for a long time and I loved what I did. And I I was probably a bit of a workaholic sometimes. And but fast forwarding to the business, as I've been, working on my business, and I would say solidly for the last 6 years because it's been my full-time thing. I've been full-time self-employed for the last 6 years. Um, that one of the biggest challenges is when I have felt that the people closest to me didn't support what I was doing, that they didn't get it, that they didn't believe in me. I would often, be met with questions in terms of my business. It might be, human design has been a big one for my husband because he doesn't get it. He doesn't agree with it. He thinks it's like way out there, and that's okay. He's entitled to his opinion. But for a long time, when he would question it, I would take it really personally, and I would take that as him not supporting me, not believing in me. And the other day I had a an experience that just reminded me like how far-fetched this is. And I'll say, like, I no longer believe this, and I haven't for a while, but that he doesn't support me. But we had a moment the other day, and I don't even remember now, thinking back, I don't remember what we were discussing. But anyway, we kind of had a disagreement, and I felt myself getting kind of emotional. And I know that that's not the best time for me to personally have conversations, is when I'm like feeling a lot of tension, like tense emotions. And it's not that I just want to like walk away from a conversation, but I also know that sometimes that's not the best space for me to have the conversation in. So, I just kind of said, I think I need a minute. We can complete this later, but I just don't feel like you're understanding what I'm saying. And I communicated that very clearly and calmly, but it was still tension. uh, so he just kind of said okay, and he needed his space, so we went our separate ways. And I'll just say, that's normal. It happens. Uh, that you're not going to always have perfection in your relationship, but it's about how you communicate. And we did fairly healthily, kind of, if that's where I communicate this, but I was still feeling like that frustration. Like, why doesn't he understand what I'm saying? And I wish I could remember the exact situation. I actually do believe it was related to something about human design. And it's, to me, it's just like so clear cut. Like, it actually something about his human design specifically. And it was just a little comment, which, yes, if someone doesn't believe in something, there's no point in sharing with them. And I knew this internally. So I went for a walk, and I was just kind of like, yeah, okay, I'm going to sit at the park. I felt inspired. I recorded a video and sent some messages to people. And, like, just literally sat out in the grass and worked for a while. And I'd been gone for maybe hour and a half, 2 hours. My husband, he had been outside painting the house, and suddenly I'm sitting there on the hill at the park, and I like see in the distance someone on a bike, and I realize it's him because I saw the shirt before I could see him. He was wearing like an orange shirt, which I knew he had been wearing that day, riding towards me. And I was like, okay, okay. And he rides up, and he's just like, I brought you a seltzer, like a like LaCroix, non-alcoholic seltzer. He's like, I thought you might be thirsty. It's kind of hot out, and you've been gone for a while. And in that moment, I was just like, huh. Like, I was still, and still, like, even though I knew that it was fine and that we were fine, I was still in my head in this moment. And I had largely moved on, but I was just like this feeling of like he doesn't get me a little bit. And then I had that reflection of like, that's not who you are anymore, and you know that. And the thing is that's often not who you are. And I'm saying this to you now, and not to myself. At any time, is oftentimes we make ourselves wrong, and then we project that out. And I really believe that the people in our lives, that they're just there to be mirrors. Our relationships are mirrors. So whether it's your romantic relationships, whether it's your family, and you feel like they're like arguing against you, or they don't get something that you're saying, and you take that on as a personal thing instead of just being like, no, like, I know what I feel. And that's, again, in the moment, I let my emotions get it in the way. And that's why I knew I needed to step away, because when I came back to myself, it was like, no, I know that this is who I am. This is my belief, and I don't need him to validate me. But then when he showed up, it was so cute, by the way. It was like, first of all, but then it was just kind of like that reminder of like, see, like, I can stand my ground, and not in a like bad way. I can say I need a moment. I can have my beliefs. I can feel emotional. I can step away from it. And he still supported me. And it was me in my head, and in the past, I don't want to spend too much time there, but in the past, that would not have been how that went. Like, I would have been stewing probably for hours. And the biggest thing that has shifted between us is the energy a bit, and that belief that we can be ourselves, that we can express ourselves in the way that we need to. But in the past, had I said, like, just can't have this conversation right now, first of all, I probably would not have done it in such a healthy way. I would have done it in a much more frustrated way, probably raising my voice, maybe saying things that I potentially regretted. And I would have held on to that anger, and I was would have put it all at him, because of course it wasn't me, but in reality it was just me, like in the moment, telling him something about his human design, which I know he doesn't believe in. So then he's refuting that, and like not even in like in an unhealthy way, but just like, well, that doesn't even make sense. I was like starting to, like feel that in the past. I would have taken that very personally. I would have tried to convince him of why he was wrong and then why he needed human design, thinking because he doesn't believe in it, he doesn't believe in me. And that's what I see happening for so many people, especially women. It's just kind of this feeling of when they don't immediately agree with you, that you take that as rejection, as they don't believe in me, they don't support me. But the thing is oftentimes when you can soften and you can just be in the energy of, I can have my beliefs, he or she or whoever does not have, they don't have to buy into it, they don't have to agree with it. But it's about how I choose to be, who I choose to be in the moments when those things happen. And again, it was just such a like profound shift from the past, like years ago, me, and how our conversations would go and how I would have taken that. And our businesses can be a really personal thing for us, and it can feel really shitty, honestly, when we feel unsupported. And sometimes that can just come in the, form of like, oh, well, how's business going? And this is one, and Dad, if you're watching, love you, but when I'm asked sometimes still by my parents, well, did you make $1 million yet? Because, I told them, 6 years ago, like, I'm going to make $1 million. I'm going to be a millionaire. And I haven't had $1 million year yet. And I'm not afraid to say that I'm getting close to $1 million in 5 years, which I'm pretty proud of. And like, I'll likely hit it this year actually, and surpass it. But when someone asks me that, like, even though I'm pretty like fucking happy about how business is going and I'm really proud of the growth that I've had, it immediately, when someone questions you, can really like set you off, and derail everything that you have created. And you having, coming full circle back to the life you want, the business you want, having the business support the life you want, it starts first with the inner knowing that what you want is possible regardless of what anyone else says, or believes of you, and that you can believe something different than the people in your life, and they can still be there to love and support you. And coming just pull back to, that question, have you made $1 million yet? My family rejected me because I haven't? No. Will they reject me when I do? No. Am I getting in my head, about those things oftentimes? Yeah, because I'm taking it personally, because I'm mad at myself that I haven't done that yet. Just like I'm, when I talk to my husband about human design, like I know like his human design is so accurate to him, but he doesn't believe in that. So, and that's okay. And if I stop making him wrong and out believing in human design, and I just focus on him being like the supportive man that rides his bike to the park because I've been gone for a while and it's hot out and he thinks I might be thirsty, like the romantic, kind gentleman, our relationship really thrives. And same thing, like the people in your life, you don't have to change them in order for them to be supportive of you. You don't have to have everybody in your world behind you 100% in order to be successful. And you don't have to burn all of the relationships in your life either, because as you focus on you and your growth, those things fall into place. And in large part, like, yes, my husband and I have done a lot of work on our relationship to improve it. But in large part, the biggest improvements have come as a result of the work that I'll say that I've done on myself and that we've done on ourselves, and the self-reflection, the alchemization of, stuck emotions and feelings and beliefs, and really stepping into the identity of knowing that you are the person that has the life you want. You have it all already. It's already done. And acting from that identity, because the version of you that is in that identity, they're not worried of whether or not their partner or their parents or anyone else believes that they can make $1 million or that they believe in your work. If you don't inherently believe in yourself and your abilities to do these things first and foremost, you're going to constantly see those things reflected back to you over and over, but they will fall into place. So just wanted to remind you of that. And again, not saying that you'll never good reminder, here for me of the situation that came up last week. Situations come up, but it's who you choose to be in those moments that determines how people respond to you and how you respond to yourself. So if this resonated with you, I would love for you to comment, like, subscribe so you can see more of these videos, and would also invite you to join me inside Unleashed and Authentically Expressed, which is my free community on Telegram. The link is in the description here on YouTube. And of course, if you want to take this work further, feel free to send me a message wherever we're connected, or comment and ask me to reach out and we can connect that way. So I will talk to you very, very soon on the next video. Have a great day.